Apes, apes, apes. Really? More apes? How much apes can we have in this ecosystem?
Apparently, a lot. We're going to cover some of the top Solana projects that are popping and whether Solana NFTs can top the prized position that Ethereum holds in the NFT world. They are rapidly approaching. So let's stay tuned to Goats of the Metaverse, and we're going to cover all that and more in today's episode. Stanley, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, and I'm doing much better when you said apparently. I see what you
See
did
what I
there.
did there? Oh.
That was pretty good. I got to give credit where credit is due. Let's check in of what's happening in this world. Ethereum, boom,
Down.
$1,800. Jesus, this winter is long and I am cold. I miss those hot summer days where Ethereum was rocking at over 3,000, some days even over 4,000. Please come back soon. Let's also see what the Solana price is. Solana also down $43.
And remember when it was just yesterday when it felt like it was at $150. So we're
I think
seeing.
that's when I bought it. I think I bought it at 150. Goes right down. It's not even that fun anymore. Daily floor price check-in. What is happening in the NFT world? That is a lot of red arrows. Jesus Christ. Board API Club, 85. CryptoPunks, 47. Azuki, 11.5. World of Woman, down. Everything's down. Give me some words of encouragement, Yasi.
Well, when there is blood on the street, one should be buying. When to buy is the question. I'm going to carry on waiting and seeing if we start to get some turn in the market. I think we're going to see some more downward pressure on these prices as people get more and more scared about their risk assets, as we're seeing in the broader markets. Really good buying opportunities, long-term bullish in the NFT world, choosing my spots and getting ready for where to deploy. We are obviously seeing some communities popping. We covered yesterday Boki and Goblin Town. Boki pumping up from where we covered on the show yesterday, 0.129 ETH, now sitting at 0.38, and Goblin Town stealing the town, 0.889 yesterday. When we covered on the show, I think it was even less than that, sitting at 2.09 ETH. So definite speculators and traders are still very active in the market, moving away from the blue chips, which we cover in that daily floor price check-in, into the small caps to trade and build some ETH and accumulate ETH, which I think eventually will then be redeployed back into the blue chips. And that's what we're seeing. Money coming out of the blue chips, people selling their 20 ETH, 30 ETH, 40 ETH holdings so that they can go into these projects that are minting for free and try and double their ETH stacks, triple their ETH stacks in that time period. And if you're just a passive observer, you're looking at a lot of FOMO, and you might buy in now at that 2.09 Goblin Town, top of the market price point, and be someone else's exit liquidity. But definitely some smart traders out there.
That is some alpha right there. And just in case you missed the show, make sure you check it out. We released it yesterday. I made a hard pass on both Goblin Town and Boki. When I make a hard pass, what does that mean? Hashtag
bye.
research. Bye. Let's talk about 3 projects we're going to cover today on Solana. Let's talk about it. Trippin Ape Tribe. They might as well have been calling themselves fake mutant apes. These things look exactly like mutant apes. The only difference is they're on Solana. Floor price right now is at 52 Solana. That is $2,297. I don't get it. Why does everyone want to be in the ape community? What is it? What is the appeal? Why are we buying fake handbags over here? What is happening? Can somebody explain this to me? Please, Yasi.
Well, there is a market for fake handbags. They do apparently do very well.
At
And I think the
$2,200?
thesis is for people why they're being involved in it. You have two ecosystems. You have the world of Ethereum. And if we look at some of the daily stats and the 24-hour sales volumes that we're seeing, Ethereum is still the biggest leader. We've got $3 billion in sales of NFTs on Ethereum in the last 30 days. Solana is number two in that spot. It's overtaken Flow, which used to hold the reins as the number two, second biggest blockchain. And Ronin, which had Axie Infinity on it, has come tumbling down as well. Now we have Solana doing $326 million in NFT sales in the last 30 days. It is the only chain that has had an increase in that time period during this down market. So people are calling it Solana Summer. It's a soft Solana Summer, but nonetheless calling it Solana Summer. And that's still a tenth of the volume that we're seeing in Ethereum, but it is climbing, it is growing, and it is outpacing the growth of Ethereum, even though Ethereum's the kind of owner or the OG in the space. So the speculation is that Solana NFTs are going to have their summer. And if you see that Bored Apes are selling on Ethereum and they're the number one project, well, we got to have our Solana apes. We've got to have our mutant equivalent on Solana, and people are putting their money behind those kinds of projects. These copycats, these Me Too type of projects, and building their own communities around them and their own culture and their own lore around those types of projects. I'm personally not a big copycat fan. And not necessarily the strategy I would go into. We are holders of some Solana projects. Number 5 on the list, DeGods, is the project that we're pretty bullish on because it has a whole bunch of new mechanisms and lore. But nonetheless, that is not where the market is. The market is saying they like the apes. So let's go into which one of these apes they like, tell you more about them, and at least you'll be informed on whether you like the apes or not.
Yeah. So the first one is Trippin Ape Tribe, launched a few days ago on 5/24, sitting at a floor of 52 Solana, which is about $2,300.
Minted for 4 Solana.
I'm sorry?
It minted for 4
It
Solana.
minted for 4, and the volume traded has been about $14 million within 24 hours. Obviously, they see something we don't see, or they know something we don't know. There's no roadmap, but they believe they're going to become the biggest thing since sliced bread. They're going to be the next Bored Ape Yacht Club. Listen, and I hate sitting here and bashing projects, and this is not what I want to be doing. But I also don't love when somebody takes literally a copycat of one of the best projects and creates it. Like, I don't see how that's going to win. But there's Coke and there's Pepsi. So maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe there's going to be 2 ape projects that are going to be the long-term winners. But you know, the reason why I love the space is because it's innovative, it's creative. And when we start copycatting projects and basically chasing something that looks exactly the same, it's a big red flag for me. So it's a pass for me. But what do I know? They did $14 million in sales in 24 hours.
Well, I think there's 2 perspectives you need to think about, or that I would think about this. This has been launched with a launch pad called Hydra Launchpad. We've seen in the broader crypto market these launch pads bringing new tokens to the market, now being played out in the NFT ecosystem. What these launch pads normally do is they have a very big audience or following, and they limit the supply of people that can buy into the launch pad so that those initial buyers can immediately flip it and make some profit because they've now got scarce scarce supply coming into very big demand. So that's what's happening over here, I would anticipate. And you've got to say, are you a trader or are you a long-term holder? We're taking the perspective as long-term holders. This isn't something that we would long-term hold, but there could be a fantastic trade in Trippin Trade. And that is what we're seeing here in this volume. We've got traders that are buying in, flipping, going in again, finding the rare trade, sniping, and that is where that volume is coming. Will we be seeing anything in Trippin Ape in 3 months' time, 4 months' time, 6 months' time? Is this going to be a blue chip project? Impossible to tell, but from what we're saying, probably not. But could be great trading for you over the next couple of days as you trade into that momentum and into that hype.
Yeah, and the second ape project is the Degenerate Ape Academy, which actually minted back in August of 21. $6 million, over $6 million of volume traded, over 4,000 owners. Currently sitting at almost 60 Solana, which is almost about $2,600. Another 10K PFP ape project. The one thing I'll say about this thing is they do have a very cool website where you could actually draw on the website. That was something interesting and cool. That got my attention. Another ape project. Looks like his project.
Well, Degenerate Ape Academy was the first ape project. I think it was the first ape project on the Solana chain. It has its own DAO. It's the largest DAO on the Solana chain. It has OG status within the Solana ecosystem. These are the equivalent of punks on Solana. So if you believe in the narrative that these chains, the originals, the firsts on these chains will have some kind of value, well, then you may take a position that Degenerate Ape Academy will be one of those bets into the future. I'm not of the viewpoint that anything outside of the initial first maybe 20 or 30 projects that were ever released as NFTs will have any kind of historical claim and value as a collector's item. So I don't buy into that thesis, but that is where people in the Solana ecosystem who are saying, if you believe in Solana, if you're a Solana fanboy, you want to go into the first NFT project on Solana, Degen Ape Academy would be that one for you.
Well said. And the last project on our Solana hot projects list is called Aurory. Am I pronouncing that right? Aurory?
Sounds like it.
Sounds like it. This is a play to earn game. Now we're getting a little bit interesting. Utility, play to earn. This is kind of a little bit more my language. Current floor price is 22 Solana, $1,800. Mint date was also August of 21. About $3 million traded. I actually think the artwork is cool. It's interesting. It's creative, and they do have an Aurory token, which is sitting at $2.81. It's a play to earn game, which means that you could actually earn tokens, and those tokens can be traded in for fiat, which is a good sign. And you own your game assets, which means compromising enjoyment. Aurory is a game studio first and crypto company second. Our team of industry veterans are here to bring the same AAA quality experience that we all love from Web 2, but with a dash of seamless Web 3 asset ownership enabled by low fees and quick transactions on Solana. So this is interesting, right? Because this game is built on Solana. We know that Solana has very low fees or sometimes no fees. And that is, that is something that could make sense, right? Because gaming on the Ethereum blockchain could be expensive to use the network. Solana, the gas fees are low. So could this be something that might sneak in there and long-term be a winner because people don't want to pay high fees? Yasi?
Well, it's a good question. Aurory, or the token Aurory, is backed, well, the company is backed by Animoca Brands, who we have seen being involved in a lot of these play-to-earn gaming companies. Play-to-earn had its season with Axie Infinity probably 6-7 months ago. If you recall on our show, we had Gabby Dazan from YGG on the show talking about this idea of play-to-earn, and Axie basically skyrocketing and being the only game in town at that point in time. We've seen Axie token price plummet since then, and the economics of play to earn being very difficult to sustain. And if I look at Aurory's token price at its peak, it was sitting at $23, now sitting at an all-time low of $2.79. So following the same trajectory as the Axie token. But what we're seeing is that the game is growing and more people are starting to play it. So can they be able to create a game that people will love to play, continue to accumulate, and when the thesis of play to earn comes back into the market, will we see that go from $2.79 back to its all-time high of $23 or more? That would be the play for me over here. I would play the game, spend some time on it, see if it is something that is addictive and people want to play more of, and potentially buy some of their play to earn tokens if that is the case.
Well, you heard it here first. We covered more apes, play to earn gaming, and everything we talked about today was on Solana, which we're seeing a lot more of on our big board list, right? So we'll keep an eye out for Solana. We'll keep an eye out for more interesting projects. Hopefully it's not going to be more apes. Come on, guys. Let's get creative here. Let's get other animals into the ecosystem. I hope you had fun. Remember, none of this is financial advice. Always do your own research. We just want to provide as much value to you guys as possible. Hopefully have some fun along the way. I know I did. Yasi, any last words?
No last words. Stay safe out there and happy trading.
Happy trading. See you guys later.